Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Today I am here with the current Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, which is part of the SG President Cabinet, Yamillet Payano, and she's ready to be your next SG President. Yamillet, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm super excited to be here.
Of course. Now, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your platform?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Yamillet Payano, but everybody can call me Yami. I've said that in multiple videos. Like you said, I'm currently the Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion under the SG Executive Cabinet. Through that role, I've done a lot of talking to communities and bridging cross-campus communication within communities, which I'm pretty sure everybody in this room and everybody watching us can affirm that it can be hard sometimes. And I'm sort of, I'm running for 2.5 months. As a senior, I never expected myself running for to be SG president. However, it was through a lot of duty of the work and the respect that I have for the work that I've done and the work that I want people to continue doing that got me through where I'm here talking to you today. My platform, considering that I only have such a short time, I'm not trying to say things that I won't be able to deliver. But I do want to continue working on the things that I've focused on as Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, which from now on I'm just going to say Director of Diversity for sake of both of us.
Yeah,
I really want to continue working with President Burwell to make sure that we include student voices through the process of the Inclusive Excellence Plan that me and you can go into further detail later on, because I do think it's going to take a huge toll into the university, not in a bad way, but in a good way. I think that I also want to include a lot of the international voices into SG, just because they're 11% of our campus. However, we don't have an international representative, neither in Senate nor in the executive board, and a lot of them really do want to participate, but by the time that they realize how SG or how American University campus work, it's too late, or they're seniors, or they're into other things. However, they do amazing work outside of campus. So,
I wanted to. Yeah. Okay. So you sort of mentioned that the position's only for 2 months. Well, I wanted to know, how do you think that you're gonna sort of accomplish all the things that you're coming up with right now?
Well, I think that a lot of my messaging and a lot of what I'm sort of trying to accomplish in these 2 months are things that I have done through my time as diversity director of diversity. So it are things that are already on its works. I just feel like being the SG president, if elected, would allow me to elevate that conversation, and at the same time, through the transition retreat with the new cabinet, convince them in a way of certain topics that I think it's important and that I think that are going to be important to take AU to the next level in the next, hopefully, 10 or 5 years down the line.
What would you say those topics are?
So I definitely think we have all talked about the campus climate and how, unfortunately, not all of us feel included on this campus, which is why President Burwell made it such a big priority to talk about diversity. I think that this inclusive excellence plans that she threw out a few weeks ago is going to be a huge undertaking that the university is going to put a lot of resources for. So I definitely think that that's one. I think we need to start talking more, despite of the national climate, about Title IX and how can we make sure that the people here in American University and the survivors that we have feel safe, and that they're at the core of what we do, but at the same time making sure that we don't traumatize them again. And I do think that I want to keep promoting space for marginalized communities on campus, which is why I would love to promote home and continue working with Dr. Ah and other people in the administration to make sure that these projects are not pilots, but they actually come into fruition. Yeah.
And then, well, can you tell us a little bit about your position as the Director of Diversity? What have you done while you've been on the board? Any sort of accomplishments you want to talk about?
So I don't think it's just my accomplishments. I think that is the accomplishment of many other people. When you're building community, you really can't take credit. And I say this because as a public servant, you need to realize that in order to not build animosity, you need to do your thing very selfless, which is why I'm not going to claim that I did this all on my own. But I'm very proud that we're starting forming these community boards. So we started with the Latinx graduation banquet. So we created a community board of all the Latinx organizations on campus. And we sort of sit and work together to make sure that our graduating seniors that identified as Latinx have an event where they can go and celebrate their achievement, but at the same time, it was very interesting to see that transform into them supporting each other and going to each other's events and becoming friends and sort of diminishing a lot of the rumors and a lot of the animosity that existed between some of the organization groups. This was also, and it's also being implemented with the Black graduation ceremony, and I think that these two are sort of our pilots. I don't want to call it pilots, but we hope that they can be models for future community boards down the line, to make sure that they're talking to one another, decrease those rumors, and at the same time build that cross-campus community that I think is so important, and eventually build a family, which is one of my main points.
Yeah, and you often touch on that, sort of the idea of building community and unifying students. And I wanted to know, is there sort of a specific program that maybe AU has implemented or SG that they've implemented that you would say, yeah, this works to unify students?
Well, I think that the President Council on Diversity and Inclusion under President Burwell has done a lot of good work, sort of talking to different stakeholders around the university. I'm proud to say that I'm part of that group, and I'm sort of the liaison between SG, the student body, and them. And we've been able to meet not only with marginalized students, but also with students and alumni who identified as conservative. We have been able to meet and talk about disability and physical accessibility around campus. And I think that that has been a work that have been able, and we do PCDI listens, which I don't know if people have heard about it, but we go around the residence hall here on campus. We offer pizza so that they're more motivated to go. Yes, and we sort of listen to students' concerns. We don't put, when we're reporting, we never put their name, their ID number. We sort of keep it big, like Latina student who's a senior. And then we would like to hear what they have to say and how they feel about the campus climate, so that then we not only have the data, but we also have the personal narratives of students that are within the university. I say that AUX1 and AUX2 is going to be a great undertaking that the university is taking, and I'm really happy to see that come to fruition, and I think that they're going to facilitate a lot of the talks. And I think that some of the programming that we see, WI put up the Me Too event, which I went to and I love, and I think that just programming in general that AU LULAC have been able to do. Tonight they're going to have sexual harassment in the workplace, and sort of these programming and making sure that these programmings are being elevated, and that we create that of like, we're not in competition with each other, but we actually have to support each other. And I think that that's how you build community. And it doesn't take one person to believe that. It takes the entire campus and multiple people to create that, and to know that we're not here sort of I was going to talk in Spanish. I was going to say solamente, that we're not here just to elevate us, but to elevate the people around us. And I think that that's what I stand for, and what I think all these programmings that I've been working with and undertaking kind of does.
Well, then I wanted to know, do you think that you can sort of best serve students and sort of unify the AU community as SG president for a few months, or as sort of the director of diversity?
I think that the SG president can do a lot. I think that I don't believe in trickle-down economics, but I do believe in trickle-down energy and trickle-down organization, in the sense of like, you can do a lot by being the face of an org that people know and people respect on campus. With that being said, I think that the interest position, 2 months is not enough. but I think it gives me the position to whoever is next in the line who does have that 1-year term, understand the importance of building community and to build a family in the AU campus. Because we're talking about all these endowments and tuition and all this and making AU more affordable. But what we don't understand is that that usually comes from alumni. Alumni should be able to donate. So how can we ask alumni to donate if they didn't feel comfortable and their experience here at AU wasn't comfortable? So I'm just trying to I'm not gonna say change SG face, because that would take more than me, but definitely set the foundation for future work that can do sort of these works.
Great. And then I wanted to know, in your opinion, what do you think, what kind of qualities or characteristics does an effective SG president have, and how do you feel like you embody that?
Well, I think that, anybody can lead. I say that all the time. I think that an effective leadership is where the question lies. And I think that an effective leader, I know it's cliche and a lot of people hear it, but knows how to lead and know how to be a follower. Because as a leader, especially as a president, you're executing policies. And you have a political capital, I guess, to move certain things to a certain things. Therefore, I think that an effective SG president need to listen, not talk. They need to understand that as SG president, I'm gonna have all the resources available. Fanta, which, by the way, she's my resource now. I'm pretty sure that people love her. President Borwell, and so on and so forth. So I don't need to be protecting me and my voice. I need to be protecting those students that don't have those avenues to communicate or don't feel comfortable using those avenues to communicate. And I think that one is listening. Two is internalize. Think before you act. Think what your resources are. Think where you are to make what you want happen. And third, act. But to know that you're not acting with the purpose of I'm taking credit, but with the purpose of I'm elevating people's lives in this campus. And I think that those are the three qualities. Listen, internalize, and then act.
And you feel like you embody those qualities? I
do. I think that a lot of it I learned, it's hard. As a Latina, I love talking. I gotta say, gossiping, and that's what I want to come across as a sincere person. And I want to come across as somebody who's accessible, right? Which is why I don't like to put things in flowery language and come and tell you all these things that might or might not come true. But I definitely think that I learned that mostly how to listen through my position as director of diversity. Because when you're in that position, you literally cannot be in the light. Not that you cannot be in the light and elevated, but you need to tactfully know that what you're doing might not be quantifiable, right? You cannot quantify it. So how many students did I somehow build, or how many, you can count how many meetings you have had, and you can count how many cross-campus organization and events you have created, but you cannot quantify the change that you have done in people. So I feel like I do embody those, but that's up to the public to also understand and recognize, and I hope that they do.
Well, before we head out, can you tell the public sort of where can they find more information about you, and also when are elections happening and how can people vote?
So you can find more information about me either adding me on Facebook, Yamillet Payano B, or following my campaign, my page campaign, which is AUSG President Yamillet Payano, because my nickname is Yami. And you can vote from February 21st to the 23rd through your student portal. So I encourage you all to vote. I am the only one on the ballot. However, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm always down for coffee. And my American Express, AKA my ID, can get us into TDR. So
wow, nice. We'll hit you up, is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Please do. Right. I'm more than happy to do it.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me.
And like she said, make sure to check out the student portal to vote. And thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you all next time.